Hi and welcome back to my channel makeup.com. So, with spring almost upon us, I thought I would do a nice spring look for you today with the emphasis on the lashes and the lips. So I've already moisturised my face and put some moisturiser on my lips. So I'll start with my brows and just thicken them up a bit. So I'm just mixing a brown and a black together for my brows. And I'm using an angled brow brush and just applying the powder using the sort of strokes motion. I don't want the brows to be too heavy in this look, but just thicken them up just a bit. And match them better to my hair colour. I do have an in-depth video on brows, so if you want to check that out, feel free. I'll write everything that I'm using in the description bar below as well for you. Okay, that should do it on the brows. Then I'm gonna go in with my foundation. I tend to, if I'm doing more of a heavy eye makeup look, I tend to do the foundation after I do the eyes. But as I'm not using too much eyeshadow today, I am gonna go in with my foundation. So I'm gonna use this one by Giorgio Armani, which is the Luminous Silk. And I'm just gonna pop some on the back of my hand. Actually, there's not much coming out, so I'm gonna pop some on my skin. I need to get a new one of these, as it is my favourite foundation at the moment. It just gives a nice sort of dewy finish to the skin. And I'm just gonna start applying this with my fingers. Get my hair out of the way. And then I'll use a brush to finish up. Don't have to worry about going too close to the eyes here, as I'll be using a concealer. A little bit more here where I have some redness. And then I'll just take my buffing brush and just make sure it's all blended in nicely. And I just use a sort of circular motion to blend this in. I'm taking it down my neck. Might add a little bit more to my neck area. trying not to get it on my white top. Okay, that should do it. And then I'm going to take a liquid concealer for my under eye area and any maybe small blemishes that I have. If you have more sort of full-on blemishes, then you might need a heavier concealer, more of a cream concealer to cover those. Yeah, I'm going to use this one for my under eye and my eyelids because I have some redness there and any small blemishes. So I'm going to pop it on to the back of my hand, then apply with my middle finger under the eye where I have any darkness, and then blend it in with my ring finger. Right up to the corner of my eye, the inner corner of my eye, I should say. Same on the other side. Apply with middle finger and blend with my ring finger. Bit more there. And then the reason you see me sort of looking down is to just check if the darkness is gone. I can see a tiny bit more here, apply a bit more there, and the same on this side. You can see better by popping your head down. Then apply to my eyelid, covering the whole area, as I have quite a bit of darkness there. Same on the other side. This is also running out. And just dab it in to blend. Then I can see that I have a little blemish here. So I'll just pop it on there. And then just around my nose, I like to add some where I have just a bit of redness that the foundation hasn't covered. And I'll just take my foundation brush here just to blend it in. And that should do it. And then I am going to set the concealer that I put on my eyelids with some powder, with some translucent powder, just before I apply my eyeshadow. So just take powder brush, and just apply the powder. And then I'm going to apply just a little bit of eyeshadow. I'm going to apply quite a neutral colour to the eyelid and right above to my brow bone. And I'm going to use my Smashbox palette in the sort of, if you can see, the vanilla kind of colour in the middle there. So just pop that all over the lid. Right up to the brow bone. Then I'm going to use the same brush and just apply a slightly darker colour into my crease and a little bit to the corner of my eye in a kind of V shape, just to create a little bit more definition to the eye. So I'm just going to use the same palette and use the sort of beige colour right there. And I tend to keep my eyes open just to see where my socket is. Tap the excess off. And just into the corner of the eye. And blend as you go. And again, not too much, as this isn't about an eyeshadow look. It's just about giving the eye a little bit of definition of the eye socket. It's just back and forth, and then into the corner, outer corner. And that should do it. And then onto the lashes. So I'm going to curl my lashes with these Shuamura curlers. Give them a good curl. And I'm going to apply 2 or 3 coats of mascara. These are great curlers. And I'm going to comb my lashes in between each coat, just to make sure I don't get that clumpy look. I'm going to be using this one by Maybelline, the Colossal Volume Express, because I find this one is great for not clumping, and you can add coats as you go. This is just wiggling the wand at the root. Same on the other side. You could, for this look, add some false lashes as well, but I'm not going to because I have quite long natural lashes. Or you could take it from day wear to night wear by adding some lashes. I'll probably only put one coat on the bottom lashes, as my bottom lashes are very long as well. And it's quite tricky not to get the mascara on the skin because they are so long. Just trying to make sure that I get every lash, as I have quite light lashes naturally. Then I'm going to take my comb, just give them a quick comb through. And then in with my second coat, just to my top lashes. And I think 2 coats are probably enough for me. Just give it a quick comb through. And then back to the skin. So my eyes are pretty much done. Now I don't want to use too many powder products as I want my skin to look fresh and dewy. So I am going to use a slightly darker foundation as a bronzer. So just where the sun wouldn't naturally hit my face. So I'm going to apply to the top of my forehead, the top of my cheeks, across my nose, and yeah, the other side of the cheek. So I'm just going to pop this in the back of my hand, taking my buffing brush again, and just applying it to where I want it. I went a bit too low there. I can just move it away with my fingers. Getting bristles everywhere today. Just on my temples as well, to make sure it's nice and blended. Tiny bit on this side. And that should do it. And then I will take it just a bit down my neck as well. So just to make sure that my face isn't too much more bronze than my neck. blended it well. Just a quick once over to where I applied it. And then I am going to take a cream blush and just apply this to the apples of the cheeks and across and slightly upwards, just because that's the way I like it on myself. Gives the face a bit of a lift. This is quite easy to blend, so don't be afraid if you had too much on, because you can just take your foundation brush and just go over it. Same on the other side. And I do tend to take it up a little to the temples. Again, just to give my face that little lift that it so needs. Sorry for my sniffing. I've had a cold for about what feels like 10 years. And again, just to make sure it's all nicely blended. So I don't want too much blush. And then I'm going to take a tiny amount of powder just to set any concealer and to get rid of any shine. So the only areas I tend to get shiny is the center of my forehead, down my nose, and that's about it. And then I will set my concealer where I put it on my side of my nose and under my eyes. Center of my forehead, down my nose, and the sides of my nose. What is up with this brush today? And that's it. And then the final step, the lips. I'm loving my purpley pinks at the moment, and I feel it's quite a nice colour for spring and a bit of a change from pink or red, but of course you can use any colour you want, just give it a bit of pop of colour. I have this palette by Bobbi Brown, and I have a sort of purpley shade there, more pink here. And I think I'm just gonna mix and match to create my own spring colour. But again, you can just use one colour, of course. So I'll start with this one. I'm not gonna use a lip liner because I don't want a harsh, bold line. I just want to pop a colour. Oh my god, that's my stomach. Ready to eat. And that's the finished spring look. I think you could get away with this for day wear, for night wear, if you were going on a date. Anything really. And I feel it makes a bit of a change from the heavy sort of smoky eyes we see around a lot. Yeah, so hope you enjoyed it. For more tips and tricks, check out my other videos. And thank you for watching. Diolch am wylio.